before, so bear with me. I'm reading from My Secret Possession. It's Kinky Fodder Chronicles 2. It'll be with Meredith and Gregor. You met them in book 1, My Secret Submission. And there are emails, which those of you who have read it understand the importance of those. I've got my paddle, Justin.
Oh!
All right. Well, no, he plays Jared, but this scene's about Meredith and Gregor. I was headed downtown to spend the night with Gregor. It had been months since we had an overnight, and finally our schedules aligned. Yeah, this will be a really dirty scene, so those who are offended easily, you might want to put earmuffs on. He had a late dinner with a customer and asked that I be waiting in his room. The hotel was nicer than any other we'd stayed at before, possibly an indicator of the importance of his customer. He told me not to get there too early because I'd be waiting, but I didn't mind. I walked into the suite that was at the end of the hall. It was complete with a living room, separate bedroom, bathroom, and I smiled. I wasn't a picky girl. I would have met him at the Super 8. Leaving my suitcase on the couch, I grabbed the drinks and fresh fruit and put them in the fridge. I had at least 3 hours before he'd arrive, or so he said. My clit throbbed and reminded me of the butt plug he'd ordered me to wear.
Oh.
I'd done as he'd instructed and worn it the entire drive. Walked through the parking lot, hotel, garage, and in an elevator full of people, and none of them the wiser. Taking a deep breath, trying to calm my rushing heart, I walked to the large floor-to-ceiling window that sat behind the desk, and I took in the view of the city. It was dusk and the lights of the city were beginning to burn brightly. Turning, I saw the king-size bed. In a typical Gregor fashion, the bed was adorned with a few paddles, including the felt-lined one I'd gifted him. There was also a note on display by the paddles. I smiled and started cracking up before I could even pick the note out. In big letters, he'd scribbled "Naughty Bottoms" here. I took a picture because, well, why wouldn't I? I then sent it to Tammy, and she responded immediately. "Fuck off and go get fucked." I didn't bother responding. All right, I'm going to skip a few emails. She has now sent him an email, let him know that he arrived. She just took a shower, or she's taking a shower, okay. Turning the water on, I placed my toiletries in the shower and on the counter. Taking my time, I made sure my legs were bare as well as my mount. Sugar scrub followed, and then I washed my hair and got out. Lathering on my lotion, I then brushed my teeth, dried my hair, put on my makeup. As was my style, I played up my eyes and left the rest of my face natural. Nude, I walked out of the bathroom and grabbed the teddy. Music played, the only other thing that calmed me and occupied me. I shimmied my way into that new black teddy and looked myself over a dozen times in the bathroom mirror. Rolling my eyes at myself, I knew while I may not have approved, Gregor would. Looking at the clock, I still had plenty of time. I grabbed my satin pajamas, put them on, leaving the pants loose around my hips and the shirt fully unbuttoned. Sitting down at the desk with my clear nail polish, I put on a quick coat. Yes, I was trying to keep myself occupied. After they dried, I started in with the only other instructions I'd been given. Walking to the dresser that sat at the end of the bed with the large LCD TV on top, I laid out more sex toys than I knew we'd use in one night. Maybe. I then spotted his truck keys, moving them to the desk so they were out of the way. I returned to my task. I laid out my new butt plug. It had 2 large balls that had smaller balls, similar to Benoit balls inside, next to the other standard ones. Restraints, lube, my vibrator, nipple clamps, the flogger, the ball gag. Joined the buffet of toys. Then I recalled how we come upon the topic of a ball gag. It started a couple days prior and it ended that morning. I scanned over those emails again. 2 bruised assets from Meredith, 8:56 a.m. Subject bound. My dear sir, the thoughts consuming me had my panties soaked nearly all day and night. My desire to be wholly restrained, belt, cuffs, ropes, your hands, arms, body, fully in your control, at your disposal, your plaything. Use for your pleasure. Unable to move, only feel, blindfolded, my world black, literally and figuratively. Face down on the bed with you on top of me, the weight of your body imprisoning me while freeing me from the things that consume my mind. Your hand around my throat, asserting your ownership while ensuring me I'm safe. Thoughts of laying across your lap, taking me back to that first day. The reminder of how quickly your power consumed me. And all of that is nothing compared to your whispered words in my ear. Whether an order, a taunt, a tease, an observation, a compliment, a reprimand, a statement or request, I long for your voice to infiltrate my senses. An An ache so deep, a wildness so fierce, a longing to be captured inside me that only you could reach and tame. Though my lippy mouth tends to get me in trouble and keep you on your toes, I aim to please you in all things. You're submissive, you're brat, you're slut. His response took all day. I knew he was headed out of town on business and just to drive back the next day, but I couldn't help but worry. I'd gone to bed early that night, having been exhausted, and a few hours later his response came. First time I've checked my email all day. Hope your panties have remained thoroughly soaked in anticipation. Alright, I'll skip a few more emails because I know there are other readers. Okay, so she's been in the hotel waiting for a few hours. He's with a customer. Needless to say, she wound up getting a ball gag and all that good stuff. Okay. There you had it. A few more emails were exchanged, teasing, taunting, typical Gregor and Meredith emails. I sat on the bed and stared at my phone. He hadn't sent one in a while. I didn't want to bother him, but it had been almost 3 hours. I removed my pajamas, turned the heat up a bit, and put on my red strappy heels. My phone chimed that familiar tone, and there he was. 10:19 p.m., regarding bound, on my way. I responded 10:21 a.m. Big smile, sir, phone's going to silent. I put my phone on the charger, music playing, poured his glass of whiskey, and set it down next to the fruit I'd already pulled from the fridge. Then I took my position on the bed. On all fours, my feet dangled off the end of the bed and in those ridiculous heels. With my back flat like a tabletop, hair hanging around my face, I waited. It seemed an eternity before he arrived. I was growing worried and let my arms lay flat as I stretched my back. Moving back to my pose, the chill started to take hold. Nerves and adrenaline were firing away inside, but the lack of movement was cooling me quicker than I thought it would. I should have chugged some of his whiskey. That surely would have warmed me. My head looked to the clock on the nightstand. 20 minutes had passed. I exhaled, closed my eyes, and recounted the emails. He never did say anything more about the who never comment. He made a comment in an email about being ready for whoever walked through the door. Dear God, what if he was bringing someone with him? I just couldn't. Fuck, I didn't want anyone else but him that night. Beep. I released the breath, took another, and remained still. I was trembling with anticipation. I heard his footsteps. He was alone, or it was his whomever, and he was alone. Christ, what if he sent someone to inspect me and do as he saw fit? Again, my imagination was going crazy. He wouldn't do that to me, not without discussing it, I hoped. My hair blocked my view, only allowing fragments from my peripheral vision to be seen. Glimpsing his legs, he walked alongside the bed and back, and I recognized his gait. Yes, I knew absolutely it was him, and he was alone. He didn't speak. I remained still as he walked behind me between the bed and dresser covered in toys. I heard him set down his phone and remove his jacket. He was looking over the toys, inspecting what it brought. He was torturing me. I needed his touch, his voice, him. It had been too long. I jumped and quickly relaxed. My trembling ceased for the time as his two warm hands moved over my exposed hips and ass. Moaning, my back slackened and my ass moved a bit closer. My ass was blank, no marks on it. His hand moved between my legs, checking for the plug. Moving the delicate material aside, he found what he was looking for. It was there. My walls clenched as his fingers ran over my parted lips. Replacing the fabric, his hand began to explore my thighs. Then his lips came down and nipped and kissed across both cheeks. Then in unison, his hands began to move up my back slowly. His hands felt like hot stones gliding across my skin. I was no longer cold. When his hands reached my shoulders, he moved them back down and under to cut my breasts. His right arm circled under me and yanked me back against him as his other hand yanked on my hair. Head up, I stared at the headboard, but didn't lift my arms from the bed. He didn't want me up yet. Had he would have yanked harder. I could feel his cock pulse against me through his layer of clothing. Then, just as quick, his hands left me and I heard his movement near the selection of impact play toys. What would he pick first, the flogger, the leather paddle, significant damage, or the smaller one from that first day? Thwack. I was pretty sure it was the leather paddle, and he didn't stop until my shoulders tensed and flexed and my feet did the same. Then he turned it over and the soft felt caressed the fresh marks. Oh, God. It felt so good. He rubbed the free hand over the wetness and soaked the teddy and teased me. Then his finger pushed on the butt plug, creating the slightest movement that had me moaning again, and yet he was still silent. Gregor stepped away from me again. I was already at the breaking point, wanting to beg him to fuck me. He had all night. I knew that, but it was never enough. And tonight I think we both knew it wasn't about the emotions between us or the love. We just needed to reconnect. We needed to fuck. Fade Away by Ryder was playing and mirrored my thoughts perfectly. Of course, it was in my Gregor playlist for a reason. I loved him, he loved me. but our DS connection was stronger than anything else we had, probably always would be. Significant damage, which you all saw on my table, was his next tool. I knew because it smacked across both cheeks and was unforgiving. I pressed my lips together, closed my eyes, and bunched the bedspread between my fingers. His sadistic side was in full force, a release he needed, and I eagerly obliged. Tears were falling from my eyes, and I was getting closer and closer to falling flat on the bed with each strike. Still no words were spoken. A hand gripped my hip and pulled me back. My breathing ragged and my whimpering became more prominent. He stopped. "Kiss me, please. I need you to kiss me." He walked to the side of the bed and grabbed my wrists. He put the red leather cuffs around them and placed them where he wanted. His firm pressure on top of them was the only direction I needed. His hands moved the teddy aside and freed my breast. Pinching my nipples, he then put the clamps on. "Oh God," I cried in the sensation of pleasure and pain. Moving down my body, his hand trailed down my back behind me once again. He pulled the panty down on the teddy and eased me out of it. Pulling it around my heels, he tended to his task gingerly. The teddy clasped behind my neck and moved my hair aside and undid it. Fully naked, I remained in my position as he removed the discarded teddy from the bed. Nipple clamps, restraints, butt plug, red whipper heels, the only thing left on my body. Hands traced over the marks on my ass before he removed the butt plug. I don't know if you guys want me to keep going on.
Please do.
Hands traced over the marks on my ass before he removed the butt plug. I heard him enter the bathroom, water ran, and then he returned. He resumed playing with my ass, and soon a new toy was teasing it. Once the first ball was inserted, I knew that it was the new butt plug. Slowly he worked in both balls until it was settled into place. It felt amazing. Best butt plug ever. Then he left me once again, and just as quick I felt the dildo slide into me. "Oh God, please." He didn't turn on the vibration, which was probably a good thing. I would have come without permission and knew I needed consent. "Gregor," he stopped, and I thought he would give me what I wanted. He did, I just didn't know it. Moving next to me once again, his hand lifted my chin and promptly put the ball gag in my mouth. My eyes closed as I let him fasten it around my head. Eyes wet, they closed as I got used to the foreign device in my mouth. Once it was fastened, he stroked my cheek, and I thought he might kiss me, but he didn't. Why wouldn't he kiss me? Why wouldn't he talk to me? He knew what his voice did to me, what his lips did to me. Then he moved a bit behind me again. Resuming his torture with the dildo, he also spanked me. Drool was forming and dripping from the gag. He did this for several minutes, my legs moving closer and closer together, hips pushing back with every thrust. Then he stopped with the dildo and set it aside. Fingers teased my clit, and then he began fucking my ass with the butt plug that was already in place. The movements were slight, but they had a huge effect on me. I'd heard about anal orgasms, but never had one. My body was shaking, my bound hands clasped together as I relaxed and enjoyed what would be my first anal O. He didn't reprimand me or praise me, still remaining silent. Removing the plug, I relaxed on it and disappeared into the bathroom again, and I waited for him. His hands moved over my welts, and then I felt a sensation I'd never felt. I quickly realized it was my Wartenberg wheel. He traced it over my tender ass and then straight up my spine. Sweet Jesus, if I could have spoken, I would have screamed. Then I realized I was trying to mumble around the gag, begging him to fuck me, to let me come, to kiss me. The wheel stopped moving over my body, and I heard the stainless steel tool get placed back on the dresser. I felt his hands at the back of my head as he removed the gag and put it back with the other toys. Not moving, I waited. Alongside the bed, once more again, he reached down and removed the nipple clamps. Moaning, my breast caught fire. Then he lifted my chin with his hand, my face level with his waist. His cock awaited me, and he teased me for a moment before letting me take it in my mouth. My hands gripped his thigh as he pushed further down my throat. Stroking my face with his other hand, he wiped at the tears while his other hand held my throat. Soft groans came from him as he felt my throat expand around his dick. Fucking my mouth and pinching my nipples with his free hand, my hands tugged on the jeans he still wore. I wanted him naked. He pulled away and I cried out in protest. "Please, sir," I sniffled and pleaded again, "please." I remained in position and tried to calm myself. I felt like I was losing my mind, would certainly lose it if he didn't fuck me or give me release. Hearing him discard his clothing calmed me. The clank of wood hitting wood then rang in my ears. He'd removed the paddles from the bed and placed them elsewhere. Grabbing my hips, I thought he'd plunge inside, but he didn't. Kisses moved over my ass. up my back and down again. His tongue flicked at my clit and teased each hole. Gripping my hips instead of fucking me, he flipped me on my back and pulled my ass to the edge of the bed. Finally, his voice filled the void that had been left hollow from his silence, echoing through my mind like a cavern. No sweeter words had I heard. Lips against mine, he ordered, "Come for me."
Yeah.